Yeah. So as we will be entering into spring officially this weekend, I thought it might be nice to do a practice which is really connecting with this energy of spring, this upsurging energy of life. So yeah, I think it's interesting to really question ourselves how we feel spring in our bodies. Do we really have that sensation of life springing up in our body and us blooming in the spring or not? And I think that's an interesting thing that we can bear in mind, because if we say that humans have actually kind of separated themselves from nature, by living in cities or by changing their biorhythms, eating food which is not from the particular moment of the year in the area where they live. All of these things have actually taken us away from this more natural expression of the seasons within our body and within our mind. And there's obviously another thing which has to do with this, and it's to do with trauma. Or bad experiences. So our body has memory. We might actually really not even know this because it's subconscious, but it is scientifically proven that perhaps imagine in our childhood something happened to us at a certain moment in time, and our body registers that as a very deep impression. It might be a shock. And even though we don't relate it with our conscious mind, maybe at that particular moment, every year, something happens. Yeah, it might be on a physical level, some expression of illness. It might be an emotional level, some feeling of being just sad or lost. So this is also something that I think is very interesting to bear in mind. And the reason I mention this is because springtime, for me, is very much related to this moment of becoming, let's say being a teenager. This idea of blossoming is very much related to this coming into our sexual life, as it were, the sexual energy awakening. So maybe we can also just allow ourselves to recognize or inquire a little bit more deeply. If I don't feel like I'm blossoming in the spring, maybe I can also do some more dream work or memory work to actually connect how I felt and that moment of my life. Was this energy of sexual awakening and awakening into the world, wanting to move into the world and, be this, this teenage energy of we say in Spanish, comer el mundo, eat the world, with this kind of, and if that energy was somehow squashed or inhibited, maybe because of some psychological complexes, or because we had very strict parents who didn't allow us to go out, it might actually affect our ability to actually channel this energy of spring as adults. So I'm not going to talk anymore because I could talk for hours, as you can see. But I just think it's nice to bear this in mind when you do this practice. Just so you can say, regardless of what blockages there are in my memory and my subconscious, I really open myself up to life. I open myself to this spring energy. And even if there is a pandemic, even if there is illness and fear and whatever, if you look outside at nature, it knows nothing about that. The flowers will still express their beauty. The trees will still open their leaves, regardless. And if I am nature, if I really am a product of nature, then what is natural for me is also to blossom. Yeah. So this is the message for today's class. And bringing that into a more of a physical level, what we're going to do is we're going to do a visualization to begin with. And then we're going to And then we're going to actually move our energy with posture and movement and breath from the lower chakras up towards the crown chakra, just to help this energy, this rising energy. Yeah? Okay, great. So you can find a comfortable position to begin with. As I said, we're going to do a little bit of visualization before we start. So you can close your eyes and take a couple of nice, easy, deep breaths just to really allow yourself to feel just what my words have moved within you. Maybe these words have opened already for you some archives in your body. And just feel the vibration in your body. You don't need to actively use your mind to retrieve information from your past. You just need to feel into the body and feel the movement, the emotion, whatever is stirring within you. And as you focus more precisely into the breath, just be aware of the rising and the falling of the breath within the body. And even this we can relate to the rising and the falling of this very lunar energy within the plants. And this swelling and retracting energy that we see in water. And just be aware that your spinal column is actually like the stem of your body. And as you breathe out, the energy moves down the stem of your body in towards the base, in towards the pelvis. And as you breathe in, this energy rises up through the body. So you might not feel it up to the head yet, that doesn't matter. Just concentrate mainly in the movement of the energy within the trunk. As you breathe in, the energy is rising up towards the neck, up towards the top of the spine. And as you breathe out, the energy is flowing downwards, in towards the pelvic floor, in towards the base of the spine. And once you feel into fully the ebb and flow of this wisdom breath within the body, just feel yourself coming back to nature. And you can begin to visualize now the base of your spine connecting more deeply in towards the earth. And if you are kinetic, you might even feel the energy of the earth beneath you. And visualize roots extending from the base of your spine deep into the earth. And you might find many things there. But for now, we're just going to connect on this rooting and this very nutritious source of vitality. And as you root this base of the body into the earth, you might notice that the sensations within the whole of the big body and the mind begin to change. Concentrate a little bit more on your in-breath. And as you breathe in, you're really drawing the energy up from your roots. Concentrating very specifically into the spine. And you can imagine this nice green bright shoot which is rising up through you. And as this energy begins to rise, there is a quality of opening. Maybe the chest and the shoulders open a little bit more. And you come into this quality of aspiration. There's something within you that really wants to push forward, push upwards. An energy of curiosity, of joy, even of excitement. And I invite you to keep on visualizing the growth of this stem, of this stalk, as it pushes up through the head space, up towards the crown of the head. And in this space, you can just maybe feel some subtle vibration. And really connecting into the quality of lightness, of brightness, and of spaciousness. As if the whole of the universe was contemplating this moment. And you can visualize a beautiful big bud. And with all of your attention, you can begin to visualize the opening of this flower in all of its radiance, its magnificence. And as you sustain this image, expand your awareness just to visualize the whole of this open flower with its stem and roots, fully present within the body. How do you feel? How does this imagery affect the state of mind? What emotion? What words come up for you? So you can bring your hands together now in front of your heart. And we're going to just sing a seed mantra 3 times to begin our physical practice. And this seed mantra is Hrim, H-R-I-M. You can take some breath to begin. And you can transform your hands into the shape of a bud, Mukula Mudra. And as you breathe in, just begin to open the fingers and offer this up above your head to infinite consciousness. Wonderful. So later you can let me know how this visualization was for you, how you feel. But for now, let's come back up to our mat if you're not already there. I'm going to move backwards. And you can come to a sitting position. You don't need to have any supports underneath you, as we really want to feel the base of the spine fully connected in towards the earth. Place the hands on your knees. Take in a nice deep breath. Hold the breath in. Initiate some circles in a clockwise fashion. Really feeling that the root of your spine and your pelvis is being activated. When you need to breathe out, come into the center. Breathe out, pushing your energy downwards in towards your root. Breathing in, lifting up the energy and initiating some circles in the other direction. And you can have your eyes closed during these circles to really feel in to the movement and to the stimulation of the base of your body. When you need to breathe out, you can come back into the center, releasing the energy back down into the earth. Let's do another round. Breathe in, hold the breath inwards. Some nice, ample circles. And when you need to breathe out, centering the spine in its vertical axis. Breathing in again, moving in the opposite direction. Coming back into the center and really releasing. Keep your palms facing downwards and close your eyes, just feeling the energy in the base of the spine. Good. So we're going to continue. As I said, we're working from down upwards. And I'd like to invite you to lie face down on the ground. If the floor is a little bit cold, you can place a blanket underneath you. And we're going to lie onto our forearms. So in this posture, which is sometimes called the Sphinx pose, we can just rest calmly. But we're going to straighten out the legs, stretch out the legs, activating the feet, activating the legs, and bringing the pelvic bone closer in towards the earth, activating the buttocks. Good. From there, you can lift up your gaze slightly, rooting the elbows into towards the ground and somehow drawing the chest a little bit further up. Once you've found this posture, I'm just going to invite you to relax the legs again. Close your eyes and draw your awareness down in towards the lower abdomen, Feel the presence of your breath here. And as you really refine your awareness, be aware of the energy in the sacrum as well. And just allow yourself to recognize the preciousness of this area of your body. It is where the creative potential is held. And in the case of the women, you can really connect into the womb. And this is actually also valid for men, because we have all come from the womb, and we are all contained within the womb of Mother Earth in some way, the mother of the universe. So really just come into this quality of honoring this creative power. And also, obviously, the creative power is also related to the testicles in the men, to the ovaries in the women. So just allow this energy to be stimulated very calmly and quietly, with this kind of nesting energy of awareness. As if you are just warming the egg of creation. Good. So you can bring your forehead down now, place the hands underneath your shoulders. Sit back on towards your heels just to release the spine with the same gentle awareness. Breathing into the back, especially, just releasing anything. And from there, you can come up onto your hands and your knees. And we're going to stimulate this energy, move a little bit more in a more active way. So you can begin to arch and round your spine in this movement, which we call Marjaryasana, which means the movement of the cat. And as we know, the cat has this very sensual energy, which is also very much related to the second chakra. So just allow the spine to be awakened a little bit more, finding fluidity within your movement. And the breath is very much present, coordinating the movement of the body. And once you've finished this round, sit back onto your heels if that's comfortable for you. Close your eyes, relaxing into the shoulders and just being aware of the sensations which are awakening from the base of the body and beginning to move upwards. Good. So you can use your support if you want to now. I can't resist this patch of light, so I'm going to move into the light. So you can sit with your legs crossed now, using the supports that you need. If your knees are more delicate, you can sit on a chair or a stool for sure. And just make sure this whole area of the belly is exposed and ready to work. And we're going to bring some more power and energy into this area using our breath. We're going to begin by using Kapalabhati. So Kapalabhati is a rapid movement of the abdomen, but it's not so rapid as another breath that we've seen, which is the bellows breath, which goes a lot more faster. This is slightly slower, and we have an emphasis in the out breath. So the in breath is quite relaxed as the belly expands, but when you breathe out, you draw the navel inwards and backwards, like it was the piston in a steam train. Yeah? And this is really beginning to activate this energy. Good. So for doing that, we're going to also use a mudra with our hands. So maybe I'll come a little bit closer to show you. So in this fire mudra, we're going to bend the ring finger towards the center of the palm of the hand, and as that's difficult to hold, we just keep it down with the thumb like that. Okay, so we're going to do that on both our knees. The palms can be facing upwards or downwards as you prefer. Good. Sorry for the interruption, but I'm going to close the window. I can hear my partners using a strimmer outside, and I just want to keep the quality of the sound as best as possible. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're ready for our Kapalabhati, which actually means skull cleansing as well, because the energy moves upwards. So sit straight and begin to breathe from the belly. As you breathe in, the belly expands outwards. As you breathe out, drawing the belly inwards, the navel towards the spine. And we can begin to go a little bit faster. So you will hear my breath, but I encourage you to find your own pace. That's enough. With the next in-breath, you can just breathe out in a relaxed manner. And focus all of your awareness in towards the belly. Feel the energy. Good. And you can release the posture with the hands, the mudra. You can place the right hand to cover the navel, the left hand on top. And you can take a nice deep in-breath. Hold the breath without tension and absorb the pelvic floor, absorbing the belly. Sustain for as long as you can, but without forcing. Lifting the energy from the pelvic floor upwards, squeezing the belly in, belly in. And when you need to release everything, bring the hands down. Breathe in a relaxed manner and observe the effects within you. Feeling into this awakening, this deeper strength. And we're going to work a little bit longer on this energy center with a torsion, with a twist in the spine. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can turn towards your right side, placing the fingertips on the floor. If you don't reach comfortably, please don't lose the vertical axis, but you can place a book or a block under your hand. And keep on twisting around, moving the head towards the right shoulder. And once you find your maximum twist, bring your energy back, your awareness back into the belly. As you breathe out, bringing the navel inwards, backwards, and towards the right. Breathing in, obviously the abdomen expands slightly. but the emphasis is in the out breath as you draw the navel back and towards the right. One more breath. Breathing in to come back to your center. Breathing out, relaxing. Let's continue breathing in. As you're breathing out, turning towards the other side, keeping the spine vertical, twisting the head also if it's comfortable for your neck. Drawing the energy down towards the belly, and once again, as you breathe out, drawing the navel inwards, backwards, and towards the left. Breathing in, coming back towards the center. Breathing out, just centering yourself there once again. Being fully aware of the pulse within the navel. And you can join all of the fingertips in your right hand and just slowly bring these fingertips in towards the center of the navel. And just sustain it there for a couple more breaths. This is actually a very interesting mudra also to practice after eating, especially after a heavy meal. Good. So you can release the hand now. And you can also remove your support that you're sitting on to cross the legs in a comfortable position. Bring the arms now up to the sides. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to roll the back and really give yourself a good hug, lowering the chin. As you breathe in, open the arms, open the chest, lift your gaze up towards the sky. As you breathe, coming backwards, hugging yourself. Continue, breathe in and out. One more round. Breathing in, expanding the arms. Sustain the breath inwards and stretch your arms further and further outwards. And then really release, bringing the hands downwards, but keep the palms facing upwards. Close your eyes, bringing your attention in towards the chest area. And just welcoming the energy of the heart. Feel the spaciousness within. Good. So we're going to stretch the legs outwards now. And you can place the feet onto the ground. Place the hands onto the ground behind you, and please notice that the fingers are pointing backwards. And as you're in this preparatory posture, just really feel the position of your shoulders and really rotate the shoulders backwards backwards. So you're really twisting the whole of the arms in an outward fashion, which is already bringing the chest forward. And as you breathe in, you can begin to lift the pelvis up, coming into this kind of tabletop position. And you can probably lift your pelvis up slightly more. Lift up as much as you can so that you can really feel this even greater opening up in towards the chest area. Can you lift your sternum higher? Can you rotate the whole of the hand, the arms and the shoulders outwards? Keep your chin close towards your chest so the back of the neck is straight. And be aware of the breath in the chest area. Let's sustain for a few more seconds. Breathing. But at the same time, don't force yourself. If you need to come down before I tell you to do so, please honor your needs. Pushing away from the hands. That's enough. Slowly bring the pelvis down towards the ground. Stretch out your legs. Breathe in, lifting the arms above the head, joining the hands. Breathing out, the hands in front of the heart. Squeezing the hands together, pushing the hands together. Push, 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 push. And that's enough. Release the palms of the hands facing upwards on the legs. Close your eyes. Breathe naturally and just be very aware of the energy. Feel it in the palms of the hands. Feel the energy in the arms and in the chest, in the upper back. Good. And the energy in this part of the body can also be stimulated with the singing of a certain vowel sound. The different vowel sounds are related to different parts of the body. And the vowel sound which is related to the chest area is ah, the letter A, ah. So find a comfortable position, keep the chest lifted, and you don't need to worry because no one else is listening to you. So you can really explore the sound and feel that this is the instrument where the sound is really resonating within you. So we're going to repeat maybe 4 or 5 rounds of the vowel. You don't have to match the tone with my tone. Just really find that tone of voice which makes this part of your body vibrate. So you can go at your own speed. Make sure your mouth is open and there's joy in your face. Finish the round that you're doing. Sustain your eyes closed. Feel the energy and the vibration in the chest. And place the hands on the center of the chest. Cultivating a quality of loving kindness towards yourself. With a warm, motherly embrace. Good. So you can bring the hands down and just be aware of what has moved for you in this exercise. And we're going to draw our awareness a little bit higher now. We're first going to begin by bringing some awareness specifically towards the shoulders. So we're going to combine a movement with the shoulders and the breath. So as you breathe in, you're going to stretch your arms up above your head. And as you breathe out, you're going to close your fists and bring the elbows down quite fast. So let's continue for a few rounds. Breathe in, stretching the arms out, holding the breath for a few seconds, visualizing the energy flowing down. And when you need to release, just relax the arms down, the palms facing upwards. Really relax the shoulders. With the eyes closed, just really accompanying the body, the mind, perceiving the effects. And if you do feel dizzy, of course, please open the eyes. Good. And maybe you can just feel into the sensations in the shoulders, the back of the neck, seeing what needs to be released in order for this bud to be produced at the top of your stem. What is holding you back? What wants to push through? Good. Place the palms down on the top of your thighs. And so that you can really just lift the shoulders up slightly. And this is going to protect the neck for the next exercise, which we call prana vayu. So we're going to breathe in and hold the breath in and just make some nice big circles with your head. The shoulders are up, so it really prevents you from doing some excessively big circles. Feel as though you're stimulating the area of the neck. And when you need to breathe out, center the head, lower the shoulders, breathe out. Let's repeat on the other side. Breathe in, lifting the shoulders, pressing against the thighs. Nice circles, flowing in the opposite direction. Coming back into the center, breathing out, relaxing, releasing, placing the hands once again with the palms facing upwards. And just really with the eyes closed, focusing fully into the throat area, into Vishuddha chakra. So we're going to work a little bit more with this area with some opening. You can come up onto your knees, placing the feet tucked, the toes tucked under. Place the hands on the back, keeping the elbows close in towards each other as you breathe in, lifting the chin upwards, opening the mouth. Open the mouth as far as you can. And as you breathe out, drawing the chin in towards the chest. And you can actually clench your teeth there, stimulating the gums. Breathe in, opening. Breathing in, squeezing and closing. Continue. One more round. And you can sit down in a comfortable position, relaxing all of the facial muscles, relaxing the throat. Being very much aware of what is arising for you in this area. Good. And we're just going to do one more small breath for this area of the throat, where we can stick the tongue out as far as possible. The mouth is nicely opened. And we're just going to do 21 pants. This is sometimes called the lion's gesture, but it's also known as kukura pranayama, which means the breath of the dog. So it's really allowing us to cool a little bit this area. So you can begin, count 21 for yourself. Once you've finished, bring the tongue back into the mouth. You can swallow some saliva. And with the eyes closed, just feel some freshening of this area of the throat. Good. So we're going to lie on our backs now as we prepare to do a little bit of an inverted posture now. So you might like to place a blanket, a folded blanket, underneath the shoulders. Good. So begin with the legs stretched out, the palms facing downwards. And as you breathe in, you can lift the legs upwards. As you breathe out, pushing up slightly, holding onto the back, and finding a little bit more verticality in the trunk, in the legs, without forcing. finding the pose which is good for you in this moment. And you can sustain the pose, allowing the energy to flow from the feet up towards the head, through the throat area. And you can bring your awareness in towards the center of the forehead, feeling the head filling up with this energy that you're receiving not only from the body but also through the soles of the feet. And of course, not forcing yourself to stay in the posture. If the body needs to release the pose, please honor that. But if you are comfortable, just allow this upward movement of the energy to draw the awareness into a more subtle field. And if you are comfortable there and you would like to deepen, you can lower one foot towards the space behind the head, followed by the other one, to move into the plow pose, halasana. And if your feet do touch the ground, you can release the hands. Keeping the awareness in the center of the head, connecting more deeply with Gaeia chakra. Slowly let's release the pose and just really coming down in the most controlled way possible. And once you've released the pose, separating the legs, the palms facing upwards, just being aware of the effects of this rising of the energy through the body. Good. So you can roll over onto one side to come up to a seating posture again. And with the palms facing upwards on the knees, the eyes closed to sustain your awareness towards the head space. Being aware of this activation of the upper centers, actually affecting the master glands of the brain. And maybe you can concentrate your awareness a little bit more precisely onto the space in the center of the forehead. Maybe you can feel already this deeper activation. So we're going to do a breath for this third eye center, for for this opening of the vision and really awakening our more latent mental capacities. And this requires concentration and centering of the mind. So we're going to practice the alternate nostril breath. I'm going to come a little bit closer just to bridge the gap between us. So we can use this mudra with the hand, where the index finger is placed between the eyebrows. So we have the left and the right, the thumb and the baby finger to open and close the nostrils. Keep the spine straight, the head straight. Close the right side. Take a nice deep in-breath through the left. Holding the breath for a few seconds as you close. Breathing out through the right nostril without exploding, slowly releasing the air. Closing the right nostril, sustaining the breath outside the body for a few seconds. And then breathing in through the right nostril again. Holding the breath for a few seconds, concentrating in the upper space. Breathing out slowly through the left side. Sustaining the breath out, concentrating in the root space. And repeating your second round. Breathing in through the left side. Feeling the energy rising up through the left side of the body towards the forehead. Holding the breath in for a few seconds. Breathing out through the right side, feeling the energy flowing downwards from the head towards the pelvis and the right side of the body. Closing, holding the energy in the root. Breathing in again through the right side, the energy rising up through the right side of the body, up towards the forehead, holding it in for a few seconds. Breathing out through the left side. And then sustaining the out-breath, the energy in the base of the spine. I'd like you to do one more round by yourselves. Refining your awareness. Directing the flow of energy. Becoming the master of your own energy. Directing the prana. And when you do finish your round, slowly lower the hand, keep the eyes closed. And with all of your awareness, observe now the breath as it goes inwards through the two nostrils. And these two flows of energy unite in the center of the forehead. And as you breathe out, the energy flows outwards. But we really want to concentrate specifically in the movement of the energy upward and inwards, which is opening up the frontal lobes, opening up our potential. A couple more conscious breaths. Good. And as we are coming to the end of the practice, just for time's sake, we're going to do a very simple closing to bring the energy up towards the top of the head. So we're not going to do any acrobatic postures today. So sustain your eyes closed and draw the energy and the awareness up towards the top of the head. And as you do so, I'm going to invite you to begin to lift your eyeballs upwards, as though you would like to look at the top of your head. Your eyelids might flutter, but sustain for a few more minutes this upward gaze. And if it's not too uncomfortable for you, you can even roll your tongue backwards. The tip of the tongue placed on the roof of the mouth, but towards the throat, which also helps to stimulate the upper centers. The breath is natural and calm. And you can visualize the opening of Brahmarandra, which was at one point when you were in your mother's womb, a soft space at the top of the head. And you can visualize that through this space, the bud of consciousness is emerging. And as this is quite intense, if you're not accustomed, you can relax the eyes now, relax the tongue, but keep on sustaining your awareness to the top of the head. And just visualize once again this opening of the lotus flower. This 1,000-petaled lotus flower. And you can really feel it's an offering of beauty. This revealing of the fullest potential. And as it faces upwards, it's also an offering to the divine. And heightening your sensations, you can almost perceive the subtle aroma, inebriated with its beauty. And feeling that the nectar is actually very present in the whole of your body, uplifting your heart and gratifying your senses. And from here you can slowly imagine the closing once again of this precious flower, petal by petal. And as it is drawn backwards in through the top of the head, it gently comes down to reside in your heart. And this is the space where we're going to close our practice. You can bring the hands together in front of the chest. And once again, we're going to sing the syllable Hrim 3 times to close. Hrim. Hrim. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. We haven't actually got time to do our final relaxation together, but I would recommend you to use the Heart Sutra music. So if you do have time, I invite you to lie down for a few minutes and enjoy this close. And if you need to go, it is already time to close. So you can just move in quietness and move in the energy of this practice. So have a lovely day.